Welcome friends, apa khabar, which means how are you? This is JJ checking in, and we're going to continue to discuss the topic of ethics and integrity. Before that, friends, let us pray for all the people in the world for health, safety and peace, regardless of race, religion, gender and nationality. In my previous episodes, I have mentioned that to live a life with integrity is very challenging. I concur with a lot of my friends on this statement and getting a lot of feedback on this. Yes, it is very challenging. However, it is not impossible. We just have to be consistent and congruent with our own value system and belief system. So before we can move on, people ask me, yes, JJ, you say it's very challenging. I agree. But how can we sort of embrace and internalize the concept of ethics and integrity in our daily lives, both personal level as well as a work level or official level? How can we do this for ourselves, for our family, for society at large? For this to happen, I strongly feel that there are 3 stages that we have to go into to understand our roles and expectations, how to live this life with integrity. For example, I say stage 1. Remember we talked about our value system? This is the stage where we uphold our own values. Do we know what's the most important values that we subscribe to? That is very important. And I said last time, if we know at least 3 or 5 of the most important values that we can live with it for the rest of our life, that is very good because it helps us both in the thinking and decision making process. Because this is where we sort of become aware, we become conscious of our own values. Sometimes people don't realize what's the most important values in life for themselves. Having done the awareness stage, we move into the second stage. This is what I call conviction stage. Conviction because this is where the values become consistent in our daily lives. We believe in those values and we can develop integrity and trustworthiness in ourselves and others. How do we do that? Because sometimes we go through life, we experience what is right, what is wrong, what is true, what is false. And once we are convinced that we know the differences, we move on. This is so important because you have to believe in all those things first before you can move outside. And the state that I feel that we live a life with integrity is when we ourselves become the role model. What do we mean by role model? Meaning to say that this is a stage where we are ready to inspire trust to others. And therefore we can demonstrate integrity always because we all know that you can't buy trust, but we can build and earn trust. So this is where we sort of walk the talk and we demonstrate that we live the life with integrity. So where are you now in all these 3 stages of 1? Are you still at awareness? 2, are we at a conviction state? Or can we move into a role model? Can we become the role model to live the life of integrity? You know, growing up, my parents taught us as children, you don't have to be mean or rude to get what you want. Remember, it does not hurt to be sincere and kind in our behavior. And I strongly believe that because all major religions in the world teach us to be honest because it is the right thing to do. As I grew up, my mentors taught me also that bad things happen when good people do nothing. I will always remember this advice because when you know something is bad and you just keep quiet, things become worse. But If we do good things, we become the good people to change what is bad. That is an indication that you are convinced that your values can be positive and you can become the role model that people want you to be, walking the talk. A little bit to share, when I was growing up, the way back, because I know I always share stories way back in the 60s and 60s especially, before the advent of TV and technology. Lunches and dinners will always be a family affair. I always remember the fact that my mother, she will apportion the food into our plates. And from that act or her behavior of putting food in our individual plates, we learn the concept of sharing and fairness. And this is something that, as I grew up, I have my own family, I demonstrate this. I become the role model of what I learned from my parents, especially my father and mother, teaching us the values of sharing and being fair. So that is good in terms of our family upbringing. Those are the values that I learned, that I bring along with me when I have my own values. So friends, living a life with integrity is possible. It can happen. And I strongly believe so, because we subscribe to the value that the reward for a good deed is the good deed that follows it. I repeat, the reward for a good deed is the good deed that follows it. So friends, thank you for watching JJ Checking Out.